1. Letters by Gendarmerie Chief Fritz Jacob Jonsdorf Spa, the 24th of April 1941. Dear Herr Lieutenant General Kuhner, since the 11th of April 1941 I have been back at our garrison in Jonsdorf and I am going about my duties once again. I graduated from Bad Ems as 5th best cadet, which I was very pleased about. I did not manage good all round as I only scored about 103 points. The two best graduated with 113. Herr Oberstleutnant Bardieu spoke to me during the graduation celebration and told me that he would have very much liked to have placed me higher. This had not been possible, however, for reasons of fairness. I entirely understand that and am therefore satisfied. I earned my marks honorably. To come top out of the Saxons and above all to be higher than so many Prussians is already quite something. About 6 weeks before the end of the course my nerves suddenly fell to pieces. I could hardly cope with the most basic things. Had that not happened I would certainly have come a lot higher up. But I believe that even this mark, Herr Lieutenant General, will give you pleasure. And now I have to wait. I will be a match for my future role as Bezirkslieutenant and as always will try to win the trust of my future superiors. I permit myself, Herr Lieutenant General, to present my warmest compliments to you and to your esteemed family. Heil Hitler Fritz Jacob, Gendarmerie Meister Ebersbach, the 29th of October 1941. Dear Herr Lieutenant General, before I depart from Ebersbach, I would like to pay my respects to you. Your picture, which is still hanging in the upper corridor, is a constant and happy reminder of your esteemed personage. Together with Meister Kludge and others I have been detailed for service in the East. I am truly pleased about this as I can now get down to doing some good practical work for our Führer. I hope that we shall be going to a region which will suit my love of nature, and that this opportunity will finally permit me to advance myself. In Saxony promotion is slow to say the least and almost impossible if a person does not have connections. I hope as ever that you and your esteemed family are well. I shall permit myself to send written greetings from the realms abandoned by the Red Tsars. I send best wishes to you and your most worthy family. Heil Hitler Jacob, Meister der Gendarmerie Kamenetz Podolski, the 5th of May 1942. Dear Herr Lieutenant General, I have been here in K. for a month. I have been meaning to give you a sign of life for a long time, but there seems to be no end to work. No wonder either. The region which I have to look after together with 25 gendarmes and 500 Schutzmänner, Ukrainians, is as large as a Regierungsbezirk in Germany. The Schutzmänner cause me the most work, the good-for-nothings. Hardly surprising really. Yesterday semi-Bolsheviks and today wearers of the honorable uniform of the police. But some of them are capable chaps. Nevertheless the percentage is small. In my capacity as station chief I act as executioner, lawyer, judge, etc. Naturally, there's a good deal of mopping up taking place, particularly amongst the Jews. As you can imagine, the population has to be kept on a tight rein. You have to be very careful. Well, we just get on with it. That way we'll all be home quicker. My family is not happy. Almost 2 years in Ebersbach and now here in the east on the Romanian border. Permit me, Herr Lieutenant General, to send you my best wishes. Heil Hitler Jacob, Meister der Gendarmerie Kamenetz Podolski, the 21st of June 1942. Dear Herr Lieutenant General Kuhner, I have good cause to answer your first letter of the 10th of June 1942 promptly. For one thing I forgot your birthday, which my wife drew my attention to, and for another it was a great pleasure to receive your letter. It is such a comfort when you are the only Saxon in a foreign country to hear from a familiar person. Please excuse my omission, Herr Lieutenant General. Please accept belatedly my very best wishes for your birthday, your 50th, I believe. I wish you all the very best, in particular health for you personally and also for your dear family. I can just picture your Barbary stallion. It must be a fine beast. Doesn't your wife wish to ride on its noble back? I almost envy her. Our nags are mostly a hodgepodge, like the local population. But up till now I've been surprised at their lack of criminality. You can ask anything of them, just like horses. They work until they drop and make no demands. Thank you for your reminder. You are absolutely right. We men of the New Germany have to be very tough with ourselves even when we are forced by circumstances to be separated from our families for quite a long time. This is the case right now. We have to settle up with the war criminals once and for all so that we can build a more beautiful and eternal Germany for our children and our children's children. We're certainly not being idle here. 3 or 4 actions a week. First gypsies, then Jews, partisans and other such riffraff. The good thing is that we now have an SD branch here with which I have an excellent working relationship. A week ago a Ukrainian schutzman was brutally murdered. The reason? He had made the Jews work in a minefield and so the Jews banded together with partisans and murdered him. In addition, 20 Hungarian soldiers who were running the technical side of the work on the minefield are said to have been murdered. Although they had the Romanian and Protectorate borders in their favor, all 4 criminals were caught, thanks to speedy action. In connection with this crime, 50 people were executed that very evening. We do not exercise wild justice here. However, in cases where a crime demands an immediate punishment, we get in touch with the SD and a proper court is immediately set up. Obviously, in an ordinary court of law, it would not be possible to stamp out an entire family if only the father was the criminal. I do not know whether you too, Herr Lieutenant General, saw such frightful Jewish types in Poland. I thank my lucky stars that I've now seen this mixed race for what it is. Then if life is kind to me, I'll have something to pass on to my children. Sick with venereal disease, cripples and idiots were the norm. Materialists to the last in spite of everything. Every one of them without exception said things like, "Sie muss specialisten, werden Sie uns nicht, we're specialists. You're not going to shoot us, are you?" These were not human beings but ape people. Well, there is only a small and rapidly dwindling percentage left of the 24,000 Jews originally living in Kamenets-Podolsky. Those little Jews living in the rayons, the lowest administrative district, Ed, are also some of our best clients. We are forging ahead and suffer no pangs of conscience and then die well and schligen zu, die Welt hat Ruhe, the waves will claim what is theirs and the world will have peace. And now for my girlfriend. She has chosen the profession of pharmacist. I wish I'd once gone to a certain pharmacy in Hamburg, to buy some acid drops for 5 pfennigs. I don't know what kind of a reception little Ditch would have given me. He might have shown me the door and told me I was a rotten old so-and-so. I hear that Tommy is keeping you on your toes? But one of these days he'll run out of ammunition. I find it quite remarkable when you say he cannot affect morale, despite your own personal losses. We all hope that this once Nordic race will disappear into the waves lock, stock and barrel. Herr Lieutenant General, please excuse my stupid prattle. I got completely carried away. When that happens, Jacob Fritz isn't quite as restrained as usual. I have a further request, Herr Lieutenant General. Please write to me now and again. It does one so much good to receive a friendly word from home. So that I don't forget. Today Herr Bezirkslieutenant Sofka writes that he has been appointed Kreisführer in Zittau Kreis. I envy him. Permit me, Herr Lieutenant General, to send you and your esteemed family my warmest greetings from far away. Heil Hitler Jacob, Meister der Gendarmerie 1. Letters of SS Obersturmführer Karl Kretschmer, SK4A No. 6 Sunday, the 27th of September 1942. My dear Soska, you will be impatient because you have received no letter from me since Monday, the 21st of September 1942, but I really could not write sooner. First, because I once again traveled 1,000 kilometers during the past few days, this time by car, 2 days of dust and rattling, and second because I'm ill. I am feeling wretched and am in horribly low spirits. How I'd like to be with you all. What you see here makes you either brutal or sentimental. I am no longer in the area of Stalingrad but further north in the middle of the front. Not directly at the front but close enough for an aerial bomb to hit me one of these days. But then I have as much chance of being hit by one here as I do in Karlsruhe. As far as I know, up to now you have been spared by the English. Let's hope that's how it stays. After my experiences in Russia, my lovely home means more to me than anything else in the world. If I could pray, I would ask for you and the homeland to be kept safe. It will be wonderful to be reunited. I know you will be surprised to hear me say that. As I said, I am in a very gloomy mood. I must pull myself out of it. The sight of the dead, including women and children, is not very cheering. But we are fighting this war for the survival or non-survival of our people. You back home, thank God, do not feel the full force of that. The bomb attacks have, however, shown what the enemy has in store for us if he has enough power. You are aware of it everywhere you go along the front. My comrades are literally fighting for the existence of our people. The enemy would do the same. I think that you understand me. As the war is in our opinion a Jewish war, the Jews are the first to feel it. Here in Russia, wherever the German soldier is, no Jew remains. You can imagine that at first I needed some time to get to grips with this. Please do not talk to Frau Kern about this. I am also ill, diarrhea, fever, cold shivers. It seems that everybody here has got it. The change in diet and no water to boot. After you have the great cities of Western Russia behind you, you come to the endless steppe. Africa can't be worse. The country is terrible. Just dust, dust and more dust. The people vegetate in it. The damage caused by the war is soon repaired as the houses are nothing but a few beams and boards. Everything else is made out of mud, which is provided by nature. The roofs are covered with straw and hay and then mud is smeared over them. The sun bakes everything hard. As there is also a lot of chalk, everything is painted white and that's it. The women do all these jobs. There are also men about, but they must work somewhere where you can't see them. Everybody spits. Old and young. You see people taking a mouthful of sunflower seeds and then out it all shoots. The whole day. Like parrots. In the cities I encountered some kind of culture still. In the country there's nothing more to see. Everything is primitive. The only thing I still don't understand is where Stalin got his military power and arms from. The only answer must be that the entire population has been engaged in the war effort and nothing else over the last 20 years. It could not have been possible any other way. So much for that. Now to food. I always said to you that a soldier does not go hungry. There's just one catch. Food is obtained from the countryside, and when you leave the rich fields of the Ukraine behind and get to the steppes, some things are in short supply, for example butter. The army command then helps by providing us with canned and preserved food. I personally have been lucky, because we are able to buy food in view of our hard work. Buy is not the right word, the money is worth nothing, we barter. We happen to be in possession of old clothes, which are very much sought after. We can get everything here. The clothes belonged to people who are no longer alive today. So you don't need to send me any clothing or the like. We have got enough here to last us for a year. Please could you get hold of some salt for me? The white Kaiser's Cafe type in packets. When I go on leave I'm going to bring back at least 15 kilos of it. It is more valuable than money here. I wrote to you that I might be able to find you a Persian rug. It now turns out that it won't be possible. First, I'm no longer in the right area, and second, the Jewish dealers are no longer alive. What is more, a lot of people are trying to obtain carpets like that. I also heard people have paid a fortune for them. Obviously that's not something I can do. Perhaps, though, fortune is smiling on us. This is my 6th letter today. I dispatched parcels number 2, butter, and 3, 2 tins of sardines in oil, 2 rubber balls, 1 XT and 2 packets of sweets for the children. Once the cold weather sets in you'll be getting a goose now and again when somebody goes on leave. There are over 200 chattering around here, as well as cows, calves, pigs, hens and turkeys. We live like princes. Today, Sunday, we had roast goose, 1/4 each. This evening we are having pigeon. I spread butter thick on bread. We sweeten everything with honey because there is no sugar available. Please send me your empty cans with lids, not more than lug in weight, but no large ones. We have them filled and sealed here. We can send parcels weighing up to 1 kilogram in any quantity. You can send me a parcel weighing up to 1 kilogram with the enclosed stamps. I am just in the process of taking over the business. At the moment I have counted over 110,000 in the kitty, RM in rubles. Take care of the children for me with longing and love in my heart. Your Carl. Please send me the Führer and other newspapers every day. We can't get any of them here. Date not known. When the cold sets in, don't be surprised if one day you receive a parcel containing a goose. When one of the men goes on leave he will take it along with him and post the parcel to you. Even if you receive a parcel from Hungary, go and pick it up. I have lent money to Germans from Hungary who volunteered to serve in the SS, and I gave them my home address as well. When they go on leave they will remember me. You see, PM taking care of you. No doubt you gathered from Göring's speech that we are allowed to send packages. The Führer has given his approval. Even if the end result is that the people here die of hunger, we will still take the food for ourselves. But it need not go that far. That would only be if the worst came to the worst. We have got to appear to be tough here, or else we will lose the war. There is no room for pity of any kind. You women and children back home could not expect any mercy or pity if the enemy got the upper hand. For that reason we are mopping up where necessary, but otherwise the Russians are willing, simple and obedient. There are no Jews here anymore. Up to now I have sent you the following parcels. For you all: 1 tin of meat, fish, sweets. 2 tin of butter. 3 2 tins sardines in oil. 2 packs sweets. 2 balls. 1 tea. 4 tin of butter. 1 tin of butter. 2 sardines in oil, 1 fish, 1 soap. 3 1 tin of salami. 4 Volkmar's birthday parcel, 800 grams French chocolate. 5 package, tin of butter. 10 package, tin of butter. Wednesday, the 7th of October 1942. Number 8. Dear Sonia, dear children, it's now a whole month since I had to leave you. I am very sad and lonely. At the moment it is raining heavily. The world is gloomy. The city is a frightful dump. Even the footpaths are in a state. When you walk along you have to keep looking out. Everything that the Russians made or built is shoddy and poorly finished. We Germans will have to work for decades to put things in order. Kursk, the 15th of October 1942. Number 11. Beloved wife, dear children, you will be very surprised to receive a letter from me from Germany. The reason for this is that someone who is going on leave is taking it with him and he'll post it from there. I am also giving him a parcel, 8 kilograms, which he's going to post in Koblenz. It contains 5 kilograms butter, 2 to 5 kilograms wheat flour and a bar of washing soap. Of my life today I can tell you that things are going more or less smoothly. We have got hold of a little house similar to the one in Gartenstrasse, only not as nice. It's dilapidated and has had a lot of shoddy building work done to it. More than 40 families used to live here, but they had to make way for us. I now have my own 2-room apartment. I work in the living room, which is also where I keep the war kitty, 150,000 RM, and I sleep in the kitchen. The apartment is heated from the kitchen. Until now it has not been very cold, so it's been bearable. We are having wood brought in by the ton. I hope it will last the winter. The prisoners have to chop it up and put it into stacks. I'll survive. If you were with me now it would be wonderful. The reveille is at 6:00, but I always wake up earlier because up to now I have not been able to sleep more than 5 hours. Though I sometimes go to bed early. At 7:00 we have coffee, as much bread as you want, a blob of butter about 60 grams, sometimes puree or artificial honey. When we first arrived there was always real honey. I always have 4 slices of bread. Then we work until 12:00. There is always good food for lunch, a lot of meat. A lot of fat. We have our own livestock, pigs, sheep, calves and cows. We have also arranged for lots of potatoes, so everybody has plenty to eat. We have pickled our own tomatoes and cucumbers. Our cook has a sideline at home running a delicatessen and really knows what he's doing. Depending on my mood and appetite I can eat up to 3 helpings. Then back to work again until 18:00. For supper there is either something hot, roast potatoes with scrambled eggs or other dishes, or something cold, bread and some salami. You can see that our bodily needs are taken care of. We receive Weihnacht rations, which are not excessive but nevertheless adequate, and get ourselves something extra. I think there will be enough for the winter. At the moment there are 600 geese making a terrific racket in the yard. Your Christmas geese are, I hope, amongst them. If things work out I'll bring them myself. If not, I'll make sure that you receive them in good time. We spend the evenings either playing cards, boozing or sitting together with the boss. I have to spend a lot of time with the boss. When he wants to play cards, drink coffee or schnapps, some of the officers have to keep him company. One can't keep oneself to oneself. I think I have made a good impression so far. The first few days I was tired and could not take very much, but after that I managed to see the night through and was actually the last to quit the field. Have already told you about the shooting, that I could not say no here either. But they've more or less said they've finally found a good chap to run the administrative side of things. The last one was by all accounts a coward. That's the way people are judged here. But you can trust your daddy. He thinks about you all the time and is not shooting immoderately. So that's our life. We don't get out of the building except for visits to the pictures theater or invitations to the staff offices, Dienststellen, or officers. There's absolutely nothing going on in town. Sundays are just like weekdays. How I love being at home with you all. How is the garden? It's nice that Herr Kern is going to France. I think he would have been too weak for the East, though people do change here. People soon get used to the sight of blood, but Blutwurst, blood sausage, is not very popular round here. I send you lots of love. I hope my parcels, 10 packages, 2 parcels, will reach you very soon. At the moment I can't send anything else, but what I've sent you should last for a while. By then there'll be another opportunity. I hope the package for Wurzel will get there in time for his birthday. It would make me very happy. Lots of kisses and greetings for the children. For their dear mummy a deep kiss. You are my everything. Your Papa.